And we're back with another edition of UFL 8's pre-fight interviews. And today we have a very special guest, the co-main event, Mr. Chris Problem Duncan. How you doing, Chris?
Good, mate. How's yourself?
I'm very well. I'm very well. Thank you very much for your time. First of all, Chris. I just want to get right into it the same way I would with everybody that comes on to the interviews, Chris. First of all, I just want to ask you how you got involved with martial arts. And number two, I want to ask you what inspires you to keep fighting.
Well, obviously, back in the day, I used to be a shepherd. I used to work quite long hours and stuff like that. And in 2014, my mum passed away, and it was almost like an epiphany that I had to myself. You know, I wanted to do something that I enjoy on the daily because obviously life's a bit short and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I moved into kind of the fitness industry where I was always very keen on. I was always like to keep fit, and I knew the benefits of keeping healthy. So involved in that, I got involved in MMA in the gym. I was doing a bit of kickboxing before, but it really kind of lit a fire under my backside, obviously, and it was keeping me occupied, keeping me a busy mind. So that's why I kind of stuck to MMA, kept me out of trouble as well. And what keeps me fighting is that obviously I've given myself no other route to be good at anything else. You know, I put my heart and soul into this, and I couldn't actually tell you. I couldn't really put a finger on what gets me up in the morning to go and do it, but it seems right. It seems pretty primal. It seems in my blood. And I'm very passionate about it as well. There's not a minute or a second of the day goes by that I don't think about it. So it's definitely taken over my life a little bit.
Yeah, no, absolutely. You're a very committed athlete, and I commend you for that. I just want to ask, who inspires you to fight? Like in terms of any kind of fighters today from the UFC or even in boxing, is there anybody you really look up to that really inspires you to push hard?
Um, I say push hard, but I've got my favourite fighters. Donald Cerrone was probably him and Uriah Faber were one of the first I used to watch on TV when the WEC was on Spike TV when I was younger, and I remember seeing it and thinking, "Oof, that looks mental." So I was like, "I want to try that." And yeah, so Donald Cerrone is probably one of my favourite fighters, like to date.
Yeah.
Mike Tyson, I think he's not just because of his intimidation and his spectacular knockouts and stuff like that. I just find he's a very interesting character, and he
Yeah.
has a lot of
A
he
lot of
has
insight. A lot of insight. He's very, very a deep person when you
yeah,
listen to him.
sure. And
Yeah.
I'm quite an emotional person as well. I like I'm very in touch with my emotions, and I feel so is he.
Yeah. Yeah. No, absolutely. No, I agree. Mike Tyson's an absolute legend in the game. Um, so I know, Chris, you've trained a little bit in America as well in the past. Have you went over there and have you trained with any of the gyms over there?
Yeah,
Tell us about
yeah.
that a little bit.
So 2 years ago, before COVID hit, we'll not get into that conversation. We'll be here all night. But 2 years ago, I went to American Top Team and did a training camp for that. I actually it was before I fought Leandro. Is it Leandro, the guy that's
Yep.
on the show for you tonight?
Yep.
On Saturday.
Yep. Yep.
It was pre him. I actually had a fight on Pankhurst in Japan, but that got cancelled. The guy broke his leg, I think, and then obviously you guys took me on board for the fight. So it was probably the fittest I've ever been leading up to a fight, and I learnt a lot. And it's good to just network with these guys and be around these guys because they do it day in day out, and they're all like-minded. You know, there's not many people in this country that are as like-minded as myself. They don't
Yeah.
stick to the training regime as well as I do. So it was great to be in the mix with those guys.
Absolutely, because Scotland's a great country for athletes and fighters and people who are really interested in sport, but it's just such a small community. It's not the same as America. Obviously,
No,
there's so many big teams there, so much more coaching going on, the level's a lot higher. I completely agree with you. But I tell you
yeah,
what, Scotland being a small country, it packs a punch though. You know what I
for
mean? There's a lot of
sure.
very talented guys.
Well,
Definitely. Um,
you're,
Sorry, you're going to say something there?
Yeah, I said you'll see that on Saturday night as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, Chris, I'm really intrigued to ask you because I'm aware, obviously, after you fought in the UFL the first time when you fought Leandro Souza, you beat Leandro. You went on to go and fight on Bellator. I just wanted to ask you, what was it like dealing with Scott Coker and the whole team at Bellator? I've always been a big fan of how they do things. I just wanted to ask you about your experience.
Oh, they were fantastic. They treated me like one of their own. Obviously, just because of COVID, I think we just kind of parted ways. There was no bad blood. There was no nothing. It was just business. At the end of the day, the guys really treated me well, paid me well, and Jude Samuel is one of the guys that really kept in touch with me, even on a personal level. So I appreciate that, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to fight on that stage, especially as early on in my career. I think I was 4-0 when I fought on Bellator. So I got a bit of a head start to the big crowds, because fighting on a small show, like for instance fighting in a minors club and then going all the way to a stadium with 10,000 people was quite a scary thing. So I'm just even just the thought of that crowd is unbelievable.
Yeah, and you put on some fantastic performances as well. Some really great finishes against some tough opponents. Some really tough. Yeah, absolute 50-50 bout. So it was great to watch you in the Bellator. And tell me a little bit about your experience, obviously, with Dana White's Contender series. We all know what happened there. You were matched against a Brazilian athlete that pulled out the night before. Then you had to wait. I believe, how many weeks did they make you wait for your next opportunity? Was it 2 weeks you had to wait? Or was it
longer than that? So when I went over there, I made weight and the guy pulled out, and they said to me, "We'll get you somebody for Saturday," which was going to be a good offer, because then they would assign me for the actual UFC event, because I was obviously on the Contender series, and that means that you need to fight for your contract. But then they were going to try and match me on the Saturday show, and that means I would have been signed straight away. So that was a really good incentive for me. So I started to cut weight again. So obviously, I'm a big lightweight. So I went from like 82 to 83 kilos after reloading after my weight cut, and then having to bring that down in 4 days back down to 70.7. So I started to do that and got myself right down to the weight I would begin my cut again. And then they said, "You're not going to get on Saturday, we're going to send you home." So I then went out to fucking In-N-Out Burger and ate burgers and chips and crisps and sweets, because I'd just been on a 10-week diet. So
you didn't know you're going to fight now. You thought you're going to go home now, so you're not even thinking about fighting.
For sure. So then I got up in the morning, was at Dunkin' Donuts having a coffee and an omelette wrap, and my manager phoned me, and I was like, "Oh, that'll be him ready for the flights home." He's like, "Oh, I've got some good news and I've got some bad news," and I was like, "Oh, here we go." So then it was about 14, I think it was maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, it was like 12 days after that. So it was nearly 3.5 weeks, including travel. I was away from home on my own. Well, not on my own. My coach had to go home and deal with some business. So I was on my own in Vegas, locked up in the hotel rooms, because obviously over there you had to do the COVID lockdown. So you weren't allowed to leave the premises. So it was like being in jail for like 3 weeks. So out of all that, I learned a lot about myself, and obviously you guys will see on Saturday night the fighter that I truly am. I feel that was like a bad performance on my half going into the Contender series, because there was a lot on the line, and probably nerves got the better of me, but my mentality got the better of me as well, because I went in there feeling unbeatable and didn't adjust in the moment. So I'm looking forward to showcasing my skills on your show on Saturday night.
And I cannot wait. And just before I go to the next question, Chris, I just want to say, everybody commends you a lot for even taking that fight. Honestly, so many people wouldn't have even took that fight against that kind of opponent as well. So I commend you for taking that fight and going through with it, because I feel you still performed really well, even though you had to go through 2 weight cuts. You had to wait around for weeks and weeks. So a lot of respect for you for even taking that, honestly, because I feel so many people in the UFC today won't even fight that guy because of his kickboxing background, etc. So yeah, just from us, just to personal, I just want to say a lot of respect for you for even taking that fight, honestly. Because if I were your manager, I would have told you to just go home. I would have said, just go home. Don't take this fight.
And then I would have told you to fuck off because I'm a fighter.
Yeah. But yeah, bro, the next question I just want to really ask you, I'm really curious to know. You've been trained by Adam Stevenson for your whole career. He's a veteran in MMA in Scotland, a very lovely guy, well-respected guy. I just want to ask you, how much of a mentor has he been, and how pivotal has he been in your development in MMA?
Well, obviously, Adam's been there since the start, not only on a coaching level, but a personal level. And I think that goes a long way because a lot of the guys out there are like just coaches, or they tend to, like, Adam's been a very good coach of mine because he's allowed me to go elsewhere and train abroad without any, what's the word I'm looking for, without any animosity for me going away and learning. And I know he's told me in the past that his thoughts are, if I go away and train and learn from these top tier people, I can bring back that knowledge and pass it on to the young guys that come through the gym. And obviously Adam's got his own gym now, so it's a young gym. So I'm looking to help Adam build a fight team for the future.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Loyalty is everything in this game, and I feel you're very loyal to Adam, and Adam's very loyal to you. I feel that's a recipe for success right there. You know,
Sure.
absolutely. And Adam's a great guy. I love dealing with Adam as well. Really, really lovely guy in the scene here in the UK. So, Chris, I really appreciate your time, right? But we're near the end of the interview now, and I just want to ask you just a couple of light-hearted questions. I want to ask you, what's your favorite martial arts movie of all time that inspires you?
Martial arts movie.
It could be anything. It could be Rocky, even. It could be a fight movie. Let's just say a fighting movie.
I think the one that just springs to mind is probably Never Back Down, the first one, because I remember watching that when I was younger. I'm not gonna. I think that one.
So the next one is: who do you prefer, Arnold Schwarzenegger or Sylvester Stallone?
Arnold Schwarzenegger. Sylvester Stallone looks like he's a melted welly.
Brilliant. Who do you prefer, Bruce Lee or Jet Li or Jackie Chan? Even three of those legends. Who's the best?
Jet Li.
Jet Li's movies are absolutely sick. Okay, Coca-Cola or Pepsi?
Oh, come on, that's a tough one. Pepsi.
Okay, good choice. Mars bars or Snickers?
Snickers.
Snickers. Oh, good choice. Good choice.
Mate,
good
Snickers
choice.
are the fucking dog's bollocks.
Brilliant. Yeah, you'll be. Yeah, I bet you're looking forward to eating a few Snickers after Saturday night.
For sure. See,
Yeah.
like, regardless of what weight I fight at, like lightweight, welterweight, I don't know, middleweight, you're still doing a diet and you try and stay away from bad and processed foods. But you know, like, even cutting to welterweight just now, this time it's not even that bad a cut, but I'm still craving shit food like Snickers and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Just quickly, sorry, because I forgot to mention, how has your camp been for this fight? I know it's been a short one, and we've had one change of opponent, but how's this couple of weeks been for you leading up to Saturday?
Pressureless, if you get me, if that makes sense. I feel very calm. I feel collective, and I feel that's going to be very dangerous on Saturday. I'm always fit, and then you guys know, you follow me, that I'm always fit. I've never been unfit in my life, so I'm just looking forward to taking this fight, and then obviously at a higher weight as well. But obviously the guy that I'm fighting is going to he's a lightweight as well. So it's going to be very even, and we're not killing ourselves cutting the weight. So it's going to be a great fight.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely amazing, and I cannot wait. So, Chris, just to finish off, I want to give you the floor to give any shout outs to your team, sponsors, friends, and family. Anybody you want to give a shout out to, Chris? Floor's yours.
Obviously, I want to give a shout out to all my sponsors. They've helped me, and I wouldn't be in the position I am just now. And then obviously my family as well, because my family means everything to me. I've got my girlfriend and my daughter Summer, my new daughter Summer, which is very testing at times, but it's very good. She's next door sleeping just now, so I better not shout too loud.
Yeah. Any your team? Where can people follow you? What's your name on Instagram? Just for anybody maybe who doesn't follow you.
The Problem 155. Get that on Twitter, Instagram, and I'm just Chris Duncan on Facebook.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here first. Chris, the Problem Duncan, rising star in global MMA, will be appearing on UFL 8 on Saturday night, the co-main event. The live stream will begin on Tried Endeavor TV's YouTube channel, 5:30 p.m. GMT time, and the fights will begin 6 p.m. sharp. At 6 p.m., the fights will begin. Thank you very much, Chris. It's been amazing having you on. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on Saturday.
See you on Saturday, buddy. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Cheers, man. Bye-bye.
Yeah, buddy. Cheers.
Bye.